very clearly deep blue. There was a lot of internet debate about it.
Pitch blue.
Is it black? Is it pitch blue? It's definitely blue.
Salt. Debate salt.
So I wanted to ask you about why the decision for you guys to part ways with Cam Smith now as opposed to waiting it out longer with him on NFI.
Yeah, as far as the details and the particulars of NFI, I'm not going to get into that. Realistically, it was just the best thing for the Dolphins, and I think it's also the best thing for Cam. So, unfortunate you don't see it going out that way, but we also live in a team sport, and we got to do what's best for the team.
So he's not going to join the practice squad.
No.
How would you categorize its time?
Time. There's a lot that goes into that. I think hopefully it's the bedrock of what his future holds. I wish him the best, but it didn't play out the way you see it when you invest like that in a player. But that's part of the league and the process, and you got to do what's best for the team.
He was athletic, he had long arms. As a rookie, I saw him make a bunch of instinctive pass breakups.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed very promising. Is the lesson here that a player has to have more than just physical tools, that there has to be a professional maturity element?
I don't. I think that what you said is absolutely true, and a lesson for all players is the line at the NFL. Everybody in the NFL has talent, and I think they're without a doubt we pushed forward all efforts. And it didn't work out. So maybe that's a lesson he learns from it. I don't know. But that what you said is an absolute for sure in this league.
Mike, can you give us an update on Tyreek Hill? Is he out of the hospital? How's he doing?
So he's doing well. He's in the hospital. He was there last night. He'll spend the night again tonight for precautions. So he has the finest care. And there's been, a plethora of teammates that have made sure that their guy is good, as well as above and beyond training staff. Our head trainer was at the hospital with him when he had surgery. So he's doing well and starting the long road to recovery.
Do you believe that college chemistry can help at the professional level between quarterbacks and wide receivers?
Yeah, I think any sort of thing that subconsciously makes a thrower more confident, that he knows what the player is gonna do, and or the player being the receiver being more confident in the type of ball that generally goes his way. I think all time spent, with players playing football can be beneficial, and it furthermore is very specifically more beneficial when there's time on task with something similar. So if you're in a new offense with that you obviously weren't together in college, but there's some kind of similarities to certain things, it can enhance some conviction for sure, and help the reception process occur by both the accuracy and the conviction and catch.
Jaylen ready to be a wide receiver one in the NFL?
Yeah, I think he's we've looked at him as a wide receiver one. I think that it's not necessarily a change from the way we approach it and the way we see it. And I think he's done a fantastic job, being an elite receiver, playing with another elite receiver. I don't see as far as his game. He's very, very much ready for this moment, as he has seen himself as a one, and we've approached it the same way. So there shouldn't be really an adjustment for Jaylen Waddle, because he himself stands alone.
Sticking with the receivers, Malik Washington was kind of a de facto wide receiver 140 this summer when Tyreek and Jaylen were hurt. How did his performance in the summer, do you think, prepare him for what his role is going to have to be here moving forward?
Well, I think like him, we found a lot about a lot of players offensively, but him in particular. There were some opportunities that he probably got some routes that otherwise he might not have got with Tua, and I think that has helped him be someone that we feature in our offense, because he, at every juncture, he's really risen to the occasion. So I know that time was very beneficial in terms of Tua relying in practices, in joint practices, in a competitive situation, and move the ball where it's third down, and you pick a ISO route for Malik, and whether it's regardless of what route you call, he's able to come up and make a play that I think it was an important sophomore offseason for him, and he definitely took advantage of it, which is why him and a lot of these guys won't blink because of the time on task in a situation this offseason similar to the one we have now.
Kind of following up on that, you mentioned sophomore offseason. When do you usually see either that big jump or maybe the light bulb turn on for guys? Is it that sophomore offseason, or maybe going into the third?
Each player's unique. I would say probably the biggest jump you generally see is going into, just stay on pattern, going into your junior year. But Malik had always been accelerated in his ability to play within in an NFL atmosphere to a NFL standard, at a high standard. It's not many rookies that are drafted in the 6th round that catch what would end up being a game-winning corner route against a very good opponent in the Los Angeles Rams, when you're 2-6 and you're trying to get a win. Not many guys are cut from that cloth where they can have that competitive greatness that young. So he's always been ahead of the curve in that way. He was able to carve out a place within our offense as a rookie, for a reason, and he hasn't taken a step back from consistent development, and because of that, he's been more of a feature this year, and we'll have some more opportunities now.
Among all the wide receivers available, why was Cedric Wilson the choice?
It was twofold. His consistency and playmaking ability and ability to play with or without the ball. He played to a high standard here, and then as we looked at all of his tape since, he hasn't lost a step in our opinion. So he is I thought it was a very great fit. I'll just get ahead of it. He won't practice this week. We have all the intentions of practicing him next week. He had a couple weeks ago. He had a minor procedure that we were very aware of, and so we thought it'd benefit us to get him in early so he can shake off what he knows of the playbook and learn all the new stuff since he's been here. So he'll be ready to practice next week.
Looks like Julian Hill's off to a pretty good start this season. What have you noticed from his growth coming into the new season?
I think in the National Football League, you have to continue to evolve your game, whether people are patting you on back or whether you're working through noise. This guy doesn't stop progressing. We were able to make plays off of his displacement on the line of scrimmage with our ball carriers, early from when he got here, and I think he's really owned his point of attack stuff. We're able to run the ball a ton right off his blocks, as well as doing a great job in zone defense, utilizing his fierce competitiveness and his kind of how he goes about the game. He's a violent player, and he's found a way to utilize those skill sets from blocking and in his pass game. And he had a major reception that he got more yard, or got all of the yards available and some on our last scoring, our last field goal that was monumental in the game. So I've been very happy with his development, and we definitely needed it.
I wanted to ask you about Zack Sieler, what you saw from him in terms of handling the disappointment of that penalty against the Bills to this past week, where much better game, he's in the backfield.
Man, I can't say enough about the dude, because I think it speaks to him that I think all of us in this room knew exactly how he felt without asking him. We didn't have to go ask him, like how was he upset about? Obviously, it for him, a guy that is our signature captain, so to speak, of how you go about your business and worry about the things that you can control. And then for him to lead by example this past game, I thought he did an unbelievable job of playing to his skill set within the scheme. And, I think it was second or third quarter, I can't remember exactly, but there was a series where his opportunities showed itself. He had teammates doing their responsibilities, and he pretty much was the point of attack tackler on a series that I think it was the series that led to the scramble. So he the scramble touchdown. So he really came through in his play, but also his leadership. I can't say enough good things about him, and I can't say I was surprised either. But it's why Sieler is who he is, and why he's so important to us.
Just past the month mark since Rasul Douglas was signed. Just wanted to get your overall evaluation of the cornerback unit so far.
I've been he's exceeded expectations in my opinion. I didn't really know how great of a teammate he was until being on a team with him. But you really saw, I thought he was. There was a bunch of playmakers this past Monday night that were able to contribute. But I saw him as one of the top three guys in the unit. As far as like the guys who had the best game, he really played within the scheme, played physical, did not hesitate, was able to show up around the ball in the pass game, and made his presence felt on some zone vice tackles that were very important in the game. So he's been a fast teammate and a guy that I think you'd have to remind a lot of the guys that he's newer, because him and there's a handful of guys that got here just in August that really rose rose to the occasion, made some plays for us with him being at the cream of the crop of that group really.
There's a report out that the charge against Ryan Crowe was dropped. Is there any change or update in his status with the team?
No status change with the team. We won't even bridge that until the league is done with their process.
Coach, this offseason, Devon Achane talked about leaving yards on the field last season and how he wanted to approach that this year. How would you kind of assess his progress in that area?
I would assess the question to be very timely because I thought he's always been adept at taking advantage of space and getting close quarter and open space yards. But I thought this past game was his best performance, maximizing every opportunity given. He really was on his tracks, and really coming out of the blocks at the snap, putting pressure on really all players in the front, and didn't hesitate. You could tell he was seeing the game, or he was seeing the defense very well. And there was 3 or 4 plays that he made within the scheme that I hadn't seen within the scheme, and I've been in the scheme for 2 decades. So he had some good things to build upon for where he wants to go in his game. He has high expectations, and I thought it was his best performance thus far.
Last game, Tua took a hit to the head. One, what was your reaction in that moment? And 2, just to see that he was okay after taking that.
I was very happy that he broke the pocket to the left. It was third and 8. We have and that was the supreme challenge that we extended towards him of there's the sticks. Can you eliminate the space, but prioritize what the team needs you to prioritize? And him sliding was, he kind of took the bull by the horns. And, I think once I saw him, get underneath that vise and slide, I think I was excited. I think I was pumped. I would have expected him to do that, but when you see your expectation come to life, I was proud of his understanding, and really I kind of just knew where he was at. He had already shown me a ton of different signs during the course of the game, but I knew how locked in he was because the making that decision is critical to the team and our games moving forward. So I'm glad he kept himself available. And the other little, the contact doesn't necessarily make me nervous. It's the direct contact that would have I would have got a little nerved up. So it was a great teammate experience that I saw him do what I thought he would do.
Last question.
Do you keep track of run pass, or is you ask someone to remind you? Because throughout the last game, it was kind of like even almost the whole game. Is that something that you remind yourself on paper? Do you write like "Don't forget to run on your play card" or anything like that?
Reps. I know. I don't know to the number, but I know. As a play caller, I kind of have a tick chart in my head that I can kind of feel if I'm balanced or not, and that in conjunction with the plan going into the game and what the defense is presenting us, if it's not close to 50-50 after 3 drives, it's because there's an adjustment based upon the opponent and our players. But generally, run-pass conflict is the best way to keep the defense on their heels, thereby getting earned yards in the run or pass game. So I try to stay as close as I can each and every game, and when I get away from it, it's because there's a reason that right, wrong, or indifferent I think gives us a better chance in that particular game.